Howdy everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, a few weeks ago, I put out a video asking the question, is the 500PF still good in 2024? And of course, the overwhelming resounding answer is yes, it's a great lens. But I did mention in that video that I wanted to add another super telephoto lens, a native Z-mount telephoto lens to my lineup, and I went through a few options. If you recall, I talked about the 600PF, the 180-600, and the 800PF. Out of all three of those options, the most logical choice to me seemed like the 800PF because it added something to my kit that I didn't already have and that I couldn't get with the 500PF. There wasn't really a lot of overlap. And a lot of you in the comments agreed. Seems like it's the logical choice, which is why I am testing it out today. I'm very, very excited to be testing out this amazing lens. So I've come out to do some bird photography. I'm going to give you my initial impressions. Please note, this is not my full video review of this lens. That is coming, but I'm just out here doing some bird photography, and I'm going to give you some bleeding edge initial first reactions to the lens. So I'm really excited to share it with you. Let's go find some birds and get to it. Okay, so where to even begin with a lens like this? I think we should talk first about the weight or lack thereof. When I first opened the box, I thought that this lens was going to break my arm carrying it around, but as you can see here, this thing is lightweight. It feels like a feather compared to at least the way that it looks. In practice, it isn't that much heavier than the 500PF, even though it's honkin' huge. And I found that it's been really easy to maneuver with, to carry around, and it hasn't felt like a burden. So for an 800mm lens, I can't think of any way to beat it. This is an incredible, incredible weight consideration if you are conscious about the amount of weight that you're carrying around, but you still need the reach. So can't beat this combination. And you see me holding this handle here. They've actually padded the tripod mount so that you can carry it around like this in the field. And my first impressions have been that I like carrying it around like this, and it's been actually a pretty convenient feature. I haven't seen this on any of Nikon's other tripod feet. Along with that, there are little spots here to attach your strap, and so I've put on my Peak Design strap mounts, and I use the Peak Design strap with this lens so that the burden of the weight isn't on the actual camera and the mount. It's on the lens, and I found it to be pretty convenient and a big plus. So weight is fantastic on this lens. Now, in terms of its size, I have found that it has been tough to find a different bag to put it in with some of my other stuff. I just end up putting the Peak Design strap on it and carrying it around. It does come with a bag, which is great. I think it's the same one that is shipped with the 400 2.8, and it's nice if you just have two lenses to carry around. I find myself switching this one out with my other telephoto, but if you have video equipment and you happen to be, filming YouTube and stuff, the bag isn't quite enough. So still working on the bag situation. But yeah, the size is definitely a consideration for you. Another thing that has to do with the size, if you get this lens, be ready for the number of people who walk up to you and go, "That's quite the lens you've got there," to go up a trillion-fold. So far, it's been just a few days. I've had at least a dozen people come up and make comments. "What, can you shoot Mars with that thing?" Just be ready for it. So 800mm. Another thing that I was pleasantly surprised by was just how much reach 800mm gives me. I am terrible at scaring away birds, and I like being able to stand so far away that they're really not bothered by me. And with the 500PF cropped in, I could get an effective focal length of 750 millimeters. The 800 millimeters, bare minimum, not even cropped in, essentially fills the frame more than that. So there's no overlap between these lenses, and I like that I have the extra reach and the choice. So definitely a win there. Okay, so one thing I've learned about this lens, on the other hand, is that the minimum focusing distance is pretty big, which means I can't use this like a macro lens. I'm not going to be able to see a chipmunk, get really close to it, and zoom in to the pores on its face or the individual fibers, in its fur. That's not how this lens works. It's not good at getting really zoomed in photos of things that you're close to. It's good at getting really detailed photos of things you can't get close to. So if you're okay with that, this might be the lens for you. But if you need to be really close to something, just get a macro lens. That's my advice. I have been able to get some really nice intimate portraits of birds. Like I'll put on a great blue heron here that I would not have been able to get with my 500 PF without scaring the bird away. So the reach definitely does have its advantages, but just, again, don't buy this lens if you are expecting a macro lens. Okay, so the last thing I'll say, this being a first impressions video only, is that I was worried in reviewing this lens that the maximum aperture of 6.3 would be a problem for me. The 500 PF at 5.6 was already borderline problematic because most birds are very active early in the morning or late at night. So you're pushing those high ISOs, and with a third of a stop slower, you're pushing even higher ISOs. So that was my worry, my hypothesis. But so far I haven't really struggled with it too much. The Z9 especially is really good with high ISO, low light, and if you post-process properly, you can mostly get away with the high ISOs. That said, I'm going to keep on testing, and if it does present a problem, I will share it in the full review, but so far so good. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed these first impressions of the 800mm PF. Again, full review is coming. I am taking this lens out to a bird sanctuary very soon, and I'm going to really put it through its paces, do some comparisons to the 500 PF, and maybe some other lenses that I haven't revealed yet. So stay tuned. Really excited about this lens so far. I'm really leaning towards adding it to my collection, so you can only find out if you keep watching. So with that in mind, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and all of those YouTube things, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.